Hello, my name is King Link, and welcome to my Humble Monthly Bundle Early Unlock preview of December 2019, the last Humble Monthly Bundle of the year, maybe ever. Well, who knows? Just a heads up though, this is the new preview format. I'm just going to talk quickly about each game. The idea is that I should have played only about an hour of each game. This month, that's only true for one of them. But if you are interested in the Humble Monthly Bundle, Humble Choice, or just want to hear my reviews of these games, consider subscribing. Now let's talk about the games. Now this month we have three titles: Yakuza Kiwami, Soul Calibur VI, and My Time at Portia. I'll just go ahead and say they're three great games. I already have reviews of Yakuza Kiwami and Soul Calibur VI, but let me give you a pseudo preview here, and I'll link the reviews at the end. So Yakuza Kiwami is from one of my favorite series, if not my absolute favorite. Each game is a meaty 50 hours or more with a sandbox model, allowing the player to explore a decently sized city neighborhood along with a really great story. If you have played Yakuza 0, which was in the Humble Monthly Bundle for February 2019, then you probably know enough to make a decision on your own, and I'm betting you already picked this up. Now, if you haven't played that one, this is the first official game in the storyline, though Yakuza 0 was a prequel that came out later, but it's worth playing first if you want to. Not required, though. I do think that Yakuza Kiwami is honestly a little weaker than Yakuza 0. The bosses especially kind of frustrated me, but it is a fun, long, and interesting game with a fantastic story that really should be experienced. It also should be required playing before playing Yakuza Kiwami 2, which I have reviewed, and that game is also unbelievable. If you haven't played the series, I do mean it when I say this is my favorite series right now. It's worth playing. The world is open, so exploration is rewarded quite regularly, and the combat is exceptional, as well as being done in a brawler style. There's so much to do and so many side quests, and these games are like 50 hours apiece. But I really would not call any part of these games grinding, so you can avoid that. Overall, though, I think this is a perfect headliner. This is a huge title in my book. I haven't even talked about Goro Majima, but really just check this game out. Soul Calibur VI. Now, as a preview, I'm really not going to go into major problems I have with this game, but as a first look, Soul Calibur is a really fun game. So I will caution and say it's not a very deep game. For $12, if you're a fighting fan, it's perfectly fine and worth checking out, but fighting games are like better than ever now, and Soul Calibur 6 just doesn't feel like it's kept up with the genre. The story, I think, is particularly bad in Soul Calibur 6. If you do like single-player content, this is weaker than Tekken 7, which is a fantastic game, but it's also on like the light end for single-player content. Soul Calibur 6 is somehow weaker than Tekken 7 offerings. On the other hand, there is an adventure mode where the player explores a map with a created character, but it feels like it's repetition rather than a truly interesting game. The fighting itself is solid, but there's nothing else besides a fighting engine, and even there are a few quirks with it. But if you do like fighting games, check this out. I'll go into far more detail when we recap the early unlocks, but you can check out my video if you're interested in just this game. I will say again, that video was made for the full price game. At $12 though, it isn't bad. And finally, we come to My Time at Portia. That's how the devs pronounce it, though the game does sometimes say Portia. Honestly, this was one of the games I haven't played yet, and I probably should have. About 6 months ago, Humble put out Staxel, and it played like a 3D version of Stardew Valley, and was weaker in almost every way. Not recommended, but it kind of turned me off in these style of games. My Time at Portia is a 3D version of Stardew Valley, and it's probably slightly weaker than Stardew in every way, but it's only slightly weaker. And a little side note, I have played about 5 hours now, and I think I found some places where it's actually stronger, but we won't talk about that here. The biggest issue, though, I had with the opening was My Time at Portia is the interface is frustrating and it's a bit weak, especially when you're using a controller. I don't think it's designed for a controller, but outside of the interface, the game feels like it's made for a controller, so I'm not sure if it's supposed to be mouse and keyboard or supposed to be controller, but it really doesn't work with both. It's got some issues with that. At the same time, though, there's a lot in My Time at Portia that is very solid. From just about the 90 minutes of playtime, there are more characters than Stardew, at least about 40, if not more. And when they all gather together, there's actually a pretty sizable crowd. More of a storyline as well in the game, though that's probably going to end eventually, but the task in front of me is kind of going to take me some time to build out. They want me to build a bridge, which requires me to build all these pieces up to the bridge. clever way to keep the game going. And it has a great style to the game as well. And let me jump forward in my gameplay video just to show you something else. Now this is the dungeon, and it's strange, but it's actually kind of amazing too. This is the adventure section of the game, but check it out. I'm actually able to dig into the walls, and this reminds me of my first game company I worked at, Volition, who made Red Faction way back in the day. And they of course had geomod technology, where you could dig into the ground. This game also has similar tech to that, and I think that's just cool, especially for a smaller game to have this style. Now I'm excited to play more of My Time at Portia. It's supposed to be meaty, like people say it takes at least 60 hours to complete. I'm not sure what that meaning of the word complete there though. And there are so many people, and each character has their own friendship system, stuff going on, what they like and all. And if you're a completionist, you're going to be spending a lot of time here. I haven't even fully explored the town and seen each shop yet, and there's so much more to find out. I'm looking forward to diving back in. I'm really excited to get back there. So, those are the 3 games this month. Now, is this the last Humble Monthly Bundle ever? The fact is, I really don't know for sure, but I am getting the feeling that this could be it. Humble Choice is supposed to be released in 2019. I just don't see how it could release in 2019 if next month is a Humble Monthly Bundle as well. That being said, look at this bundle as its own, but I will say this one seems pretty solid. One of my favorite series is here, a decently but admittedly weak fighting game, and a really solid Harvest Moon Stardew Valley game, at least from what it looks like. If you can't find $12 of content here, I really don't know what to tell you, but if you still are unsure, swing back before the month is out and I'll give you the full scoop on all 3 games, including My Time at Portia. If you are interested, of course, consider subscribing. And if you want to get started on those reviews, well, let me pop up Yakuza Kiwami and Calibur VI's reviews. And until next time, I'm King Link. Thanks for watching.